It is day 16, and I needed a somewhat shorter game today because I don't have much time. So I've chosen the original Super Smash Bros. Depending on the Smash Bros. Game, there are definitely different definitions on how you actually beat it. Let's see if I can get used to the controls. I mostly played this on a virtual console, so I would have used a classic controller, but I'm actually playing on a real N64 this time, so really not used to the controls. Plus, it has been quite a while since I've actually played Smash Bros. But yeah, depending on the Smash Bros. Game, I think every Smash Bros. Game just about has a different definition of what would actually be beating it. Beating 1P mode is definitely the ending for this game. And then also beating classic mode would be the definition for Smash 4. Because these are the only modes in these games that give you any sort of ending or credits. They are the only way that would really be considered beating the game. Whereas I don't know that that definition works in the other games, because even though I think they still give you credits. In those classic modes, there are actually like story mode and adventure modes in the other games. I would say, for Melee beat Adventure Mode, Brawl beat Subspace Emissary, and Ultimate beat World of Light. Which I don't know what Adventure Mode really constitutes for in Melee, like how long that is or anything. I've not played much Melee outside of playing some net play in like 2016. But then, I don't know, I probably won't do World of Light just at all, just because I've never beaten World of Light. And from what I remember, though, it seemed like it was pretty long. So I don't think that's a very good idea. And then Subspace Emissary just kind of depends on how far I get into the challenge and how much it seems like it might be necessary. Because it's not... Subspace Emissary isn't that long, but it's also kind of long. Also, do not have to complete break the targets. If I want to beat it quicker, just instantly fail, and that gets you through the game quicker. But definitely can't do Smash 4, because Smash 4 is kind of just the same thing as this game. I'm probably a bit more used to Smash 4 than this game. Especially because I would be playing on a controller Ah. Would be playing on a controller I'm used to, but I'm really not used to using an actual N64 controller for this game. Oh, you can't jump using the C buttons. Okay, that actually makes it way easier. I don't know, holding straight up, or tapping straight up on the N64 controller actually seems quite difficult. It would also mean to actually give myself 5 stocks, but just mash through the menus. I also need to just remember how to actually play Smash Bros. I completely forgot grabbing was a thing. Is that... alright. Just R. Yeah, shielding and everything. Yeah, it's been a while since I've played any Smash game, really. And then, since a lot of fighting games tend to just be these, you just do a bunch of fights in a row, and you just, once you beat the final fight, you win. A lot of fighting games could be viable. The problem is I've not really played too many fighting games. So it really would just be, at least as far as familiarity goes, it would really just be just the Smash Bros. Games I could do, and then if I can find another copy of it, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom on the Wii is definitely viable. Especially because if you... in Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, you can use, like, simplified controls if you use the Wii Remote and Nunchuck, which is what I always did when I played the game, because I did not have a classic controller. And there is a very, very easy combo you can use as Zero to just, like, stun lock everyone. The game will pretty much be no challenge. Pretty sure, though, if I do end up getting a game over, I'm pretty sure I can just continue. I don't know if there's, like, a limit how many times you can continue, though. Hopefully not. Or else I really should have just given myself 5 stocks. I need to remember to use the C buttons to jump. It is so much easier than pressing up. But I was one of the people who never really switched to pressing a button to jump and always preferring to push up. Because I had always played a lot more casually. I remember playing Smash 4 with a friend once, online. And he asked me, he was talking about, you know, some people prefer to use X, some people prefer to use Y. And he asked me which button I preferred, and I told him I should use up on the D-pad, or the control stick rather. I did eventually switch to using a button in Ultimate. I don't know if I ever used a button in Smash 4. But I think at that time I just didn't really ever try and adapt much. To different control schemes, so since Brawl I only ever played casually. Never had a reason to switch how I played the game, even though it is objectively better to use a button rather than up on the control stick. Or it's objectively better to use a button rather than up on the control stick. I don't know if I said that right. I do try and be more adaptable to controls nowadays, because I rarely actually will go into the settings and change camera controls in a game. I always just try and get used to whatever camera controls the game automatically has. Just because, you know, some older games don't give you camera controls. You have to just use whatever camera controls they by default have. So I'd rather be able just to play any game like that without feeling like I can't because I'm so used to one way of control that I can't get used to another. So you can continue, right? Yep. I don't know if you can continue infinitely, though. I feel like there's at least one Smash Bros. Game where you can't. You only get a certain number of continues. 3, 2, 1, go! Just really need to stop having these moments where I just kind of stand there and let enemies hit me a bunch, and then also, if I don't throw a bomb in my own face, that might also help. Yeah, I knew that was a bad idea. That box was likely to explode. So I don't know why I hit it. Definitely would have been a lot more clean without the accidental death. I wish it could be good though. It's actually like way shorter than I was thinking. That's why I saved it for a day like this, because I already know I'm not gonna have much time, so making sure I still have something to complete is good. So hopefully I still get another continue, because that was really stupid. I don't know if it continues, or if you get a limited continues, or if it's something to do with your score, like if your score runs too low, you can't continue. I don't remember, and I hope not to find out. Oh, that looks like the move to do. Definitely could have not used to continue and not jumped off the edge like an idiot. Even though you can still play the credits, I don't think it's really necessary to have to do anything. Yeah, less than 20 minutes. I was thinking maybe it would be a little longer. Definitely a very short game. There still is at least one more Smash Bros. Game that I can definitely do. Yeah, now just to figure out if I have time to try and do another short game today, or that's it, because I don't know if I'm going to have time to do anything tomorrow. Then hopefully Saturday I can get back to doing a ton of games. Yeah, that is 30 games done in 16 days.